What's going on, everyone? Homework assignment 21. Today's objective: I can use the slope formula to find the slope of a line. So we'll take a look here. Steps that we're going to use for how to find the slope of a line given 2 points. So we're using something called the slope formula, which we're going to see right down here, but we'll go by steps. So step 1, label the coordinates x1, y1, x2, and y2. So we're going to be given 2 coordinates, and we're going to label our coordinates first. Step 2, we're going to substitute our coordinates into the slope formula. So the slope formula says y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now remember, when we see these little numbers written next to the variables, we call them subscripts. And all they are doing is they're representing a certain number. In this case, they're representing a certain coordinate. So x1 is different from x2. All right? So again, it's the difference of the y's divided by the difference of the x's. Step 3, we're just going to simplify whatever we get. Let's dive right into one. So there's 3 different types of, we could say 3 different types of solutions that we're going to get, or two different types. We're either going to get some number as our slope, or we're going to have another word called undefined. So let's dive right into it. So step 1, as we stated before, I'm going to label my coordinates. So if I'm labeling this x1, then that means that this has to be y1. It's always x's and y's. So if that's the case, then this is x2 and this is y2. All right, that's the first step. Second step, we're going to substitute them into the slope formula that we see right here. So our slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'll write them just like that. So negative 2 is y2 minus y1, which is 1, over x2, which is 4, minus x1, which is 0. Use your calculator. Be careful with the calculations. Negative 2 minus 1 is a negative 3. 4 minus 0 is 4. And that actually can't be simplified anymore. So my slope is negative 3/4. Next one. First step, I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, difference of my y's. So negative 7 is y2 minus y1, which is 6, over x2, which is 3, minus, now watch what I'm going to write, x2 minus x1. So that's 3 minus negative 4. Negative 7 minus 6 is a negative 13 over 3 minus a negative 4, which is a positive 7. And I'll leave it as an improper fraction. When we're dealing with slope, I like to leave them as fractions. So we don't have to convert to a mixed number or anything. That's as simplified as it could be. So it's a negative 13/7. I like to leave my slope as fractions, even if they're improper fractions. 2 more. What's the slope of a line that passes through the points negative 10,4 and negative 10,8? All right. So I'll list them like this. So our x1, y1, x2, y2. All right. So y2 minus y1 is in our numerator, so it's 8 minus 4, over x2 minus x1, which is a negative 10 minus a negative 10. All right, 8 minus 4 is 4. Negative 10 minus a negative 10 in your calculator will say 0. And this is not something we can calculate. 4 divided by 0, we can't divide by 0. So our slope is going to be what we call undefined, because we cannot define it. It's not. So the answer is not 0. It is undefined. Last one. So I'm going to label again x1, y1, x2, y2. We're going to take the difference of my x's, the difference of my y's. So my y2 is negative 4 minus negative 4, so y2 minus y1, over x2, which is 4, minus x1, which is negative 8. So let's get the negative 8. Oh, that is an 8, I promise you. So 4 minus a negative 4 is 0 in our numerator. 4 minus a negative 8 is 12. So notice how this looks different from our last one. Our last one had 0 in the denominator. But if 0 is in our numerator, then that's going to tell me that our slope is going to be 0. Not undefined, but 0. So if 0 is in your denominator, just like we saw here, then our slope is undefined. If 0 is in our numerator, our slope is 0. All right? Take a look at these. Practice them a little bit. You have practice problems that are there. Be prepared for class tomorrow. We'll work on this a little more. I'll see you all then.